Hello and welcome to the RetroTech 120p challenge. Today we're playing WWF Wrestlemania. It's my pick, but I don't like it. But yes, the RetroTech 120p challenge is basically a lot of old fellas, or older fellas, get together on Facebook and we play games. And we have as many practice goes as we want, but as soon as we press record, we can use 2 credits, and it's how far we get is I'll go, and the person that gets the furthest gets nothing at all. Maybe like a small glimmer of hope in their lives, a small scintilla of joy. But yeah, I've made it sound sad, haven't I? It's not. Join in. It's good fun. But yeah, this is WrestleMania. Not a big fan of WrestleMania, WWF Wrestlemania. I've chosen it because it's WrestleMania month. And I'm a man-child, as is in the name. So I get excited about WrestleMania still, despite being nearly 50. Which I hope no girls watch this, because that's a terrible thing to admit. So yeah, WWF Wrestlemania. Yes, I do know it's fake. It's pretty obvious. Okay, I get it. It's a storyline battle. I understand that. It doesn't stop me watching films. They have story battles as well. Yes, good. So WWF Wrestlemania was a Midway game. Came out in 1995. It is the third of 4 arcade WWF games. The other 3 being WWF Superstars, released in 1989 or 1990, WWF Wrestlefest, released in 1991, and WWF Royal Rumble in 1999. This is by far the worst one. There are people that will listen to what I've just said and heartily disagree and claim it is the best one. Those people are wrong. This was done by Midway during the height of their kind of Mortal Kombat NBA Jam era. You know, that was super successful, and loads of people loved those digitised graphics. I mean, they look good, I guess, in stills, but they just don't sit. They seem artless to me, and I've never ever liked digitised graphics at all. They're just horrible. And that's something I've stuck with throughout the duration of my channel. Really don't like them. But yeah, this was converted to several consoles: the Genesis, the 32X, the Super Nintendo, DOS, PlayStation 1, and the Saturn. Acclaim released a non-arcade sequel to this, after the first one did okay for him, called In Your House, which had new wrestlers in it based on the same engine, and people like the Ultimate Warrior in it and the British Bulldog, in addition to some of the wrestlers from this one. I mean, it's quite funny because obviously the Undertaker throws ghosts, and I don't know how Yokozuna feels about this, or felt about this, because he's dead now, who I'm playing as. When he gets hit, he sweats food like whole legs. Which seems, I wonder if he played this and was like, oh, come on guys. I mean, it's bad enough that I've been given a bit of a racist gimmick, because I'm not even Japanese. He's from like Samoa or somewhere. He's related to like Roman Reigns and The Rock and people like that. Yeah, see, some meat fell out of him. And I would imagine everyone in the crowd there is related to, or is one of the programmers. Is my theory anyway. But yeah, it's not my cup of tea, this game at all. Well, I picked it because it's WrestleMania, that's all. Anyway, yeah, so let's do some genital facts, shall we? And let's talk about some backstage naughty tales. Not the horrible, nasty stuff, the really illegal, horrible things that, like, what Vince got up to. There was a thing called the Ring Boy scandal, and then there's Ashley Massaro, and that is some dark stuff. And if you want to read about that, please go and find it. But it's stuff that make you sad. Now, this stuff is equally a little bit sad, but mostly non-illegal, and that's all we can hope for. Although I will preface this whole section now by saying all of this is alleged. Right? All of this is alleged stuff. None of this is 100% guaranteed to be factual. Please don't sue me. Jerry the King Lawler say. And let's start with him. Jerry the King Lawler allegedly was caught with in the women's locker room with a shoe of one of the young ladies who participate in the events, sniffing it and rearranging the veracity of his flesh scepter. Let's say he was laying out a decree all over the floor in front of him. Yeah. So yeah, that's fact number one. Fact number two, in fact, not facts, alleged gossipy rumours. Let's say that again. Let's talk about Lita. Lita, one of my favourites, and if you were of a sort of a rocky persuasion, she probably was one of yours if you watched it at the time. A very attractive young girl dressed in alternative clothing, incredibly popular women's wrestler, lots of high-flying skills that she learnt on her way to being in the WWF. Had a bit of a scandal when she left in real life. Boyfriend at the time, Matt Hardy, to canoodle with one of his best friends, Edge. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about how she trained, because she trained in Mexico with some wrestlers, but she didn't pay them with money. Can you guess what she paid them with? Pootie coins. Yes. It's a bit like one of those kind of storied adventures on like Pornhub, or so I'm told. So let's go to general fact number 3. Let's talk about the Goodwins. Now, the Goodwins were a 90s tag team of farmers who weren't actually farmers. That was just a terrible gimmick they were given because they came from a rural area originally. And what they would do is, once they defeated an opponent, they would add an extra layer of humiliation by dumping a slop bucket over them. Which is fine. It was, it was a fake slop, like nothing harmful, nothing that would do them any harm, for the most part, because if they didn't like an opponent or wanted to have a rib with them, basically they would swap out the fake slop for real slop. And when I say real slop, I don't mean like a slop you would feed pigs. I mean like human fluids and substances of all types. So I wouldn't like to be the opponent there, and I certainly wouldn't like to be the person who had to clean them out afterwards. And there we go. Fact number 4. Now, these chaps weren't in the WWF at the time, but they were they have gone in the Hall of Fame. They were very popular in the 80s when it was more of a kind of a regional thing. A couple of handsome young guys who really should retire because they're still going and they look really old. They were Ricky and Robert, the Rock and Roll Express. So this is a story from Jim Cornette, who is a good friend of theirs, a long-time opponent of theirs as well. He used to manage teams against them. They walked in on a motel room being occupied by another regional grappler of some renown called Jimmy Valiant. Now, Jimmy was laying under a glass table, and on top of the table was let's say a hired companion, and she was squatting on that glass table and laying out a big old vegan Mars bar. Now, Ricky was not impressed. He was very sick watching it, but Robert stayed around and carried on watching. Robert also, it was, according to Jim Cornette, known as wristwatch in the locker room, because he could wear a wristwatch, not on his wrist, and I'll leave the rest to your imagination. Our final fact is Sid Justice, R.I.P., died last year. Big fella, huge name in wrestling, big fella in wrestling too, huge guy, like well over 7 foot tall. He used to have a pet squirrel. Don't know where you get one of them from, but apparently he had one. But not easy to find, I would imagine. But on one drunken night, he was told by his companions to put it down his pants, and while drunk, he did so. And guess what squirrels like eating? Not normally those types, though. Yeah, so he had a little bite on his particulars. And that is the end of your genital facts. Thank you very much for watching that. We're just about to wrap things up because I'm about to get beaten up, mugged by 2 men, which isn't brilliant. But let's tell you about what's coming up next week. It will this week rather, it's going to be Charlie and the Chocolate Factory on the Spectrum, something that Ricky and Robert have probably played. Yeah, see, it's a callback there. Anyway, that's the end of my go. Like, subscribe, and Kay, thanks, bye.